Hello everyone and welcome to my BDN 515 week 5 video presentation. Let me go ahead and share with you my SQL code on my second monitor here. So here we go. And it's over here on my second monitor. So as you can see, we got the schema right here. Oh, if it'll load, there we go. We got the schema right there. Then we also got the data right here. So we can go ahead and run those. See, schema works out all good. Go over, look at the data as well. Go ahead and run through the data as well. Data appears all good as well, so that all works out. So let's go ahead and look at our question. So first question asks for us to provide the first and last name of customers whose average spending amount is greater than the average spent by all customers as shown on the first, excuse me, line comment right here. So to get started, what I did was use select, and then we have C first name, C last name, and what that just does is selects each customer's first and last name. We also have C average payment, which just selects or computes the average payment per customer. And then finally, we have as average spending, which gives that average an alias just so it's easier to read on output. Moving on to the next line of code, we have from customer C. And what that does is it just specifies which table we're going to be pulling from, in this case, customer. And then the C just is the alias for the customer table. Sorry, been a little sick lately. Moving on to the next line of code, we have join payment P on C dot customer ID equals P dot customer ID. So this is just joining the payment customer tables where the customer ID in the customer table is the same as the customer ID in the payment table. Moving on to the next line of code, we have group by customer ID. And what this just does is groups the results by each individual customer. Pretty simple line of function there. Then we have a little nuance function here. We have having average P amount greater than select average amount from payment. And when you break this down, what it does is just filters the group results so we can only include customers whose average spending is greater than the global average. And then having is like where, but it's used with group data and aggregate functions, which we're using right here. So if, for example, we wanted to know what the average is, so we know what we are returning as we see in our question here, greater than the average spent by all customers. I went ahead and wrote a little query over here. If we go ahead and run that, we see average amount is 4.200667. So if we run this query, it should return customers who have a higher average amount than this 4.200667. So that's what this having by greater than select average amount does. And then finally, we have limit 10. And limit 10 just will limit our output to the first 10 results that we actually have. So we can go ahead and run this code and see what it looks like after we run it. And so we run it, and here we go. We have 10 customers right here, all above that 4.200667, I believe. And everything looks like it's running smoothly as you see in the code. So we can go ahead and move on to question 3. So question 3 says, what line of code would you add to the SQL code from answer 1 to display the top 5 runners in the database? So if we keep the same line of code, that same lines of code from the answer to question 1 as we see here that we have, all we have to do is add one line of code to change this. And I'm going to say we add one, and then I also had to change one as well, but we only added one line of code. So the one line of code that we added is right here, this order by count. And essentially what this just does is order the filtered customers by how many payments they've made. And if you think about it logically, the more payments a customer has made means the more rentals that they have. So that this order by count and then P payment ID allows us to track how many payments a customer has made, and that lets us know how many rentals they've made, and it can allow us to rank them. And then we had to change the final line of code from limit 10 to limit 5, as you see right here. And instead of limiting it to 10 as we did in question 1, we are now limiting it to 5 as it wants us to do in question 2, as it wants us to display the top 5 renters in our database. So if we go ahead and run this code, let's see what we get. And so here we go. We have 5 customers right here, and these would be the top 5 renters that we would receive. Thank you so much for watching my presentation. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.